Some claim that the age of a true gentleman is far behind us, but here at 284 Media, we disagree. He may appear in different guises today, but the values and ideals that make him a gentleman still stand. Gentlemen, aspiring gentlemen, and of course, our partners that hold us down. I'm Ron Grant, and you're watching Season 5 of The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, a show that is poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. Now don't worry, it's not always about suits and bow ties, but instead real-life lessons that truly translate to grounded, community-minded, well-rounded men. You have seen some phenomenal guests for this entire season, and I'm honored today to be joined by the one and only CJ Faison, founder of Face Forward Productions and producer of the Emmy-winning drama series Giants, now streaming on Clio TV of TV1 and BET. CJ Faison is a champion for filmmakers. His individual mission is elevated through his production company in one simple principle. We all share the same experience, but we don't all look the same. It's time to bring those two realities together to the masses, for which he is working towards. Now, CJ has received an Emmy nomination, Streamy Indies Series Award, and International Academy of Web and Television Award for Best Drama and Giants. Giants is also the first digital series to be awarded a Voice Award in 2018. I'm honored again to be joined by this champion for filmmakers, and we are going to get right into his phenomenal story. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break. You're watching The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, Season 5. Let's go. Gentlemen, it's time to discover That Guy Experience. We are a product line specifically catering to the men with beards. Our products are 100% natural and handmade right here in the BVI. Butters, oils, and cleansing products, all designed to add softeners, shine, and growth to your beard and hair. Visit us at Meraki Hair Clinic or thatguybvi.com and begin your journey as that guy. We are a life-changing experience. That Guy Hair and Beard Products.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, you enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes, son.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Over there. You must have cut fun to people.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out that trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turned into 5. 5 months turned into, well, you know I hop. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
At Higher BVI, we're not just about business. We're about empowering lives, and that is because we aspire to inspire. By choosing us, you're supporting a company that believes in equal opportunities, diversity, and community growth. Our mission goes beyond profit. It's about providing HR solutions, fostering talent, and leaving a positive impact. Join us in building a better future, a better BVI. Choose Higher BVI, where your support isn't just a transaction, it's a transformation. Together, we're changing lives in these beautiful Virgin Islands.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for sticking with us. As promised, we are in the heart of season 5, but not the heart, actually. We are closing out this series with the amazing CJ Faison. CJ, welcome to the platform, and most importantly, welcome to the British Virgin Islands.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Now, apart from being, as you say, a champion for filmmakers, you are first a husband and a father, father of one, correct?
That's right.
All right, and I want to start there. What has that journey been like?
Man, it's been one that's extremely rewarding. Much like I hate to say it this way, but many of us that look like you and I didn't grow up with our fathers or in 2-parent households. I'm not sure your story. I didn't grow up. I didn't meet my father, so I was 13, and I had a stepfather, but wasn't extremely active. And I say all of that to say it was extremely important for me to be not only physically there, but extremely present with my son.
Gotcha.
And so for me and my son have an extremely special bond. I'm always thinking of him in terms of the example I'm setting because he wants to be just like me. Studies show us those first few years are very, very, very important to the actual makeup of our kid. And so for me, I'm always aware. I bring my son on the carpets with me.
Beautiful.
I bring my son with me. It just means everything to me. I'm a husband first, yes, but very, very, very closely after I'm a father because that's my responsibility. My wife is an adult, and so it's my job to protect her and be a provider in that way. But my son is a baby, and it's my job to shepherd him through this world. And so it means everything to me.
Has fatherhood taught you anything about yourself that you were not cognizant of before?
Yeah, how patient I am.
Good.
Yeah, you're dealing with kids, little ones particularly. Everything's new to them. Everything's new. And so it's all about being patient, unlearning what you've learned because you're seeing things fresh through their eyes. But also it's taught me just how much more I have to give. Sometimes we think we're maxed out, we're tapping out at what we're doing. You get a life that comes into this world, and I'm sure you can relate as a father as well. It just kicks you up another gear, man, because you never want to look that child in the face and say, I'm sorry, son, we don't have it. We can't do it. I never want that to be our reality. And so for me, it's just another AA battery in my back.
Amazing. Well, we have that in common because my son is also pretty much the same age, COVID babies. So I want to begin there because you mentioned about not meeting your father until you were 13, having a stepfather, but now making sure that you are present.
That's right.
How do you balance the business and the business of family?
When we think balance, man, sometimes I think we automatically go to 50-50. There's no such thing. And when you're living actively, right, that's not it. The thing with balance is making sure that they both stay afloat, is at least how I look at it.
Okay.
And so for me, it's all about maximizing the opportunities when I'm there to be present, not just in the house, but be present with him, to play with him, to laugh with him, do the drop-offs, the pickups when I can, and those type of things. But also showing him that it's also daddy's job to go out and hunt.
Absolutely.
And secure. And so I used to feel really bad about all the trips I have to take to New York, to LA, or wherever I have to go. Now, for extended trips, I bring my family with me, right? So I'm able to see him at least when he wakes up or when he goes to sleep. And to me, it's those little things that just let him know, and he may not really be fully aware of it now, but when he gets older, he'll see like, yo, my dad always prioritized me where he could. And if he's gone for a week or longer, so he usually brings me with him so I can be there. He's there when I wake up. He's there when I go to sleep. Those type of things matter. And so that's what I try to do. And I rely on my wife to be the partner that she is to me and subsidize where I can't. But we subsidize for each other.
Well, I'll tell you this. Thank you for being a beautiful representation of a beautiful Black union.
Thank you.
I think that's important for us to continue to see across the spectrum. In filmmaking, you have been making, of course, quite an impact. And you are championing yourself for filmmakers. I want to talk about that because I feel like it's important for us to have representation across all spectrums. When you think of yourself as a champion for filmmakers, what does that entail?
I want to first say something to you. You're right. It's so important that we have representation. There are parts of the world that we've never been to, but we have an idea of what that looks like, right? Because of what we see in media, what we saw on television or different forums. I think when it comes to Black people, it's the same. There are people that have never interacted with Black people, believe it or not. And so all they know is what they've saw on television, what they see. And so for me, it's about reshaping that landscape, right? How do I buy real estate, occupy real estate in that landscape that allows the person that has never interacted with a Black person to have an informed perspective, or at least a little bit more, right? Because Black folks, we love to say aren't a monolith, but we gravitate towards the same media sometimes. And so for me, it's about contributing to that conversation and taking up space for stories that the system sometimes won't champion, won't make. But much like we did with Giants, Giants was an independent series that we started. Big shout outs to James Bland, Issa Rae, Jussie Smollett, Vanessa Baden Kelly, etc. Folks that believed in the mission of what Giants was. And from there, we accumulated 20 million views. And so to the same studio system that said our stories weren't valid, they had no choice but to pay attention because now we have 20 million views. No marketing machine, nothing, just us. And what that said to Hollywood and what that said to me is that there are a number of stories, not just Giants, that aren't being told because the system won't greenlight them. We have to greenlight ourselves. And once you get in the door, now I can say I have my foot through the door. I can tell more of those stories that provide more perspective and extend the spectrum of what Black stories look like in a broader landscape.
I have to ask you, did you always, and it's an honest question because I get it as well. Some persons they're shocked or surprised by the success and they always ask you if you always knew that you would be where you are. And the answer for me has always been yes, because I've always respected myself enough to take myself seriously. And I'll ask you the same thing. When you look at your journey, were you always confident in the fact that you would be doing what you're doing today?
I was always confident in the fact that I would be successful on a broader scale. I never second guessed that, never doubted. I always knew I've never not been successful at anything I've applied myself to. Whether it's sports, whether it's grade school, whatever. I always knew that. I just didn't know it would be in entertainment because that wasn't necessarily my dream. My dream was to be a corporate exec. And funny enough, I've achieved both.
Beautiful.
Corporate exec and, what I'm doing in the entertainment space. And so much like you, I always knew. I never doubted it. I never enter a game with the expectation to lose. I come to win.
Beautiful, always. Speaking of winning, you talked about Giants, but you also have a documentary that is The Black Beauty Effect. Tell us about that project.
So The Black Beauty Effect is a 3-part docuseries that chronicles the impact that Black people, namely Black women, have had on reshaping the beauty industry. We tell it through the lens of makeup, skincare, and hair, and it really highlights the history of these each of these, right? Each of these spaces, as well as the ingenuity that is Black people and what we've done to reshape it over the years and to where we are and where we hope to be. And we've executive produced by mega beauty influencer Jackie Aina, editor, fashion stylist, fashion icon, I should say, Kalana Barfield Brown, and we're created by Andrea Lewis, who starred in Degrassi, across from Drake. He was Wheelchair Jimmy. And we're now on Netflix and Xfinity, and doing really well. And I think we're having a huge impact. It's a celebration. It's not a woe it's me story. It's a celebration of the contributions that Black people have made to an industry that didn't accept us, an industry that didn't give, landscape to us. But now, much like what we did with Giants, we forced them to show up and give us a seat at the table. And we're going to keep doing that until we own the table.
Amazing. Now, you mentioned, of course, particularly with Giants, the essentially forcing them to see the vision and get it. What do you say to the young and upcoming talent, whether it's production, filmmaking, creative space, who are struggling to make it in the door and are sometimes apprehensive because that vision and that reality is not received by whether it's the public or corporations?
That's a great question. I'd say to the filmmaker, the aspiring creative, the aspiring insert whatever, it's that sometimes they don't see it because you're supposed to bring it to life. You're supposed to be the person that births this thing. And particularly when it comes to filmmakers, you can't call yourself a filmmaker until you make a film. And so if you're waiting on someone to give you an opportunity to make a film, you may be waiting forever. And so at that point, you're not a filmmaker. You're an aspiring filmmaker.
Correct.
Go make a film. Go find people that share the same vision, passion as you. Get a camera, get a phone. You know, it doesn't have to be Hollywood quality. These people are producing this on $20 million budgets. You don't have to do that. You just need a storyline that's compelling. You know, folks talk about Tubi, but the beautiful thing about Tubi is that Tubi's getting eyeballs. You know, people are tapped into the storyline. People are willing to bypass.
They're paying attention.
Exactly. You know, the quality, if you will, production quality, as long as the storyline is there. And so to the aspiring, again, insert whatever, is to go and do the very thing that you set out to do. Don't allow yourself to accept excuses from yourself, from others, because if you do, there's always going to be an excuse. There's always going to be a reason why not today and maybe tomorrow. I say do it today.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Now, at this present space, in this present time, you talked about telling impactful stories. What are some of the stories that you haven't told yet that you would really like to bring to the world? Yeah,
there's a lot that I haven't told. You know, particularly when I think about the stories I've told, I haven't told a story of my story. I haven't told my story. And I talk about this with my team. You know, I've done stories for different communities, but I haven't done one for me.
Okay.
I haven't done one for what we would define as the awkward black boy. The black boy growing up in the inner city who is street smart, book smart, but is looking to elevate, you know, and be something different. And sometimes that can come with a little bit of rejection from your own community.
Of course.
You know what I mean? I haven't told those stories. I haven't told a lot of stories about the athletes. I haven't told stories about the single moms that are really the ones wearing capes. There's just a number of stories in ways that I'd like to tell them because I always believe there's a celebration in everyone's story. And so I never want to be caught telling a war is me narrative fully.
Okay.
Even though those stories do exist, I think we've seen a lot of them, what we call trauma porn sometimes.
Yes.
I'm not necessarily into that because I just think black people are just royalty, man. I think we're just like kings and queens.
And those stories, to be honest with you, have been told, I think, enough.
Like, you know what I mean? We want more. Yeah. We want more. I want the person when I'm long gone and they're digging through the archives and see some of the projects that I've created. I'm like, dang, black people did that. Yeah, that's right. And it's real. Amazing. Viewers, you heard it here, of course. We're chopping it up with the one and only CJ. We are going to be back. Of course, he is in the BVI working on an amazing project where he has been able to do some student engagement and screening of his work. So we'll be right back after a quick commercial break. You're in the heart of Season 5.
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
Brilliant Hands and Minds tutoring services, one-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals.
At Higher BVI, we're not just about business. We're about empowering lives, and that is because we aspire to inspire. By choosing us, you're supporting a company that believes in equal opportunities, diversity, and community growth. Our mission goes beyond profit. It's about providing HR solutions, fostering talent, and leaving a positive impact. Join us in building a better future. a better BVI. Choose Higher BVI, where your support isn't just a transaction, it's a transformation. Together, we're changing lives in these beautiful Virgin Islands.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, you enjoy the rest of it then. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes, Sonny.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut fun topic.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out that trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit, I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I hustle. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Viewers, welcome back. You're watching Season 5 of The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, and I'm chopping it up with the one and only CJ. CJ, when you mentioned that awkward boy, you know, having a lot of potential, being street smart, book smart, and having a little bit of a difficult time, I'm assuming, really finding his foot. Tell us about that upbringing and how you managed to maneuver through it.
You know, I always think I was fortunate because I was so much bigger than a lot of people. And, you know, but what it did for me is it forced me to fight, physically fight really early, to the point that I think it was unhealthy because I loved fighting so much. At one point in time, my mom would always say, boy, why are you so rough? I loved fighting.
Wow.
But
because you had to.
Because I had to. It's because I had to. Growing up, light skin, green eyes in our community, sometimes that can force you. It's funny because in media we talk about how our darker complexions get ostracized, but when you're growing up in a black community, you're fair skinned. Sometimes you can be isolated and bullied almost, and I refuse to allow that to be my narrative. And so for me, it just forced me to fight a lot. But as I got older, it was cool. It morphed. It wasn't about necessarily fighting because I had established the respect of my peers in that way. It was more so about choosing decisions because my peers were going to do this. And I was kind of like, I don't want to do that. That's not really for me. And so sometimes, you know, it forced you to be lonely, you know, by yourself. You know, you're taking the path less traveled. And sometimes that can come with questions and doubt. I was like, man, am I not cool? Am I not doing this? Because the cool kids are all out doing this and I'm over here freaking hooping and studying and that type of stuff. And so it may sound small now as we're adults, but as a kid growing up, when you don't have your peers or you're not necessarily always looked at as the cool kid, it can bother you a little bit. Or you're cool, you're in the cool crowd, but if they got a choice to like, you gonna hang out with CJ, you gonna hang out, they're gonna go this way.
What do you say to the young man that's watching, that's struggling with that aspect?
To worry about that is short term. It's a short term, you know, reward. you have to worry about the longer picture and how you're setting yourself up. You know, each day that we're blessed to be here is literally a building block to the story of our lives. And so for me, I look back on a lot of those folks that, you know, took those paths and they're bigging me up now, or, you know, wishing they had chosen different paths. So to that person who may be in that same situation I found myself in, I say, keep going. Stay true to yourself. Don't bend, don't fold. Don't even second guess yourself. Like, what you're doing is exactly what you're supposed to be doing.
Beautiful.
And stay focused.
It is oftentimes said that a lot of us within the entertainment industry, in that creative space, struggle with it because it's very easy to lose yourself.
Yeah.
How have you remained grounded and centered throughout this entire career journey?
I think a couple things. I have to, one, give a lot of homage to my upbringing. My mom has always kept me grounded in terms of people are just people. You know, so I never, with the exception of a few people as I was a kid, like Tracy McGrady was my guy.
Okay.
But I've never put people on pedestals in that way. I just feel like we're just people. And we do, in entertainment, we do a job that's a lot more glamorized than some other roles. But at the end of the day, it's still a job. We're still working. We're still, you know, contributing. The other thing is my team that I keep around me. You know, I am blessed enough to still have friends that knew me when I was in grade school. And we still get together every year regularly. And they just keep me, and I'm just allowed to be CJ.
Wow.
I'm just allowed to be me. It's no, oh, CJ the producer, any of that stuff. And so I love that. That keeps me grounded. And then, you know, my wife, I'm around my wife and she, oftentimes, she's my best friend. And so for her, it's none of that. Like, she's celebrating, but we just kick it. We're just normal people. And we don't, you know, live a fabricated life. We don't do any of those things. And so by that way, you know, I haven't bought in to the hype of performing of what Hollywood tells us we have to do in terms of our day-to-day life. We're not hiring the paparazzi that come shoot pictures. We're just regular people, man. I just happen to produce some nice work.
Beautiful. Now, I want to take this opportunity, CJ, to thank you and commend you for your amazing work within the film industry, but most importantly, thank you for being intentional in the narratives that you've created and continue to create, in making sure that we are represented in the best possible way. I appreciate that. And we thank you so much for spitting your wisdom and sharing your story with us.
Man, thank you. Thanks for taking up space. Thank you so much. Absolutely.
Viewers, it has been a totally amazing season, and I want to thank you guys so much for rocking with us. Season 5, believe it or not, we've been at this for some 5 years, and I want to take the opportunity to thank the entire Virgin Islands community for supporting and rallying around this program, which is curated to help boys and men into 24th century distinguished gentlemen. It has been an amazing journey, and we look forward to next season. It's been a beautiful journey. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you. Bye-bye.
Father Jesus, that line you long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes, son.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut fun topic.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.